Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are back with another episode of our weekly wears. If you aren't familiar with my weekly wears, and if you're new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. But weekly wears is essentially what I wore every day last week, all 7 days. So if that's content that you think you want to see more of, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video. Love to see you come back. But with all that being said, let's jump right into the list, starting with Sunday. So this week in particular was a pretty busy week for me with my day job. So a lot of appointments, a lot of meetings, and meeting new people. So essentially I wanted to wear things that were sort of effortless, classy, gentlemanly, and just really easy to pull off in what would be considered a work environment. So the scent I went with on Sunday, I was actually showing a property on Sunday, scent I decided to go with is Givenchy Gentlemen EDP. I really believe that this scent is super underrated. Man, just so fresh, clean. You pick up that iris immediately. It's really uplifting, puts you in a good mood. Just that type of fragrance that just really smells invigorating. I get a lot of iris from this. There's also pear in here, some other fruity notes up top. It's woody, there's a tiny bit of leather. So it's a really overall well-rounded scent and really versatile. I think you could wear this during the day. I think you could wear this out at night. This could be signature scent worthy. The others in the line, Reserve Privé, the EDP, the Intense version, they all get a ton of attention. This one, again, I think is super underrated from the line's perspective. If you've tried fragrances like Prada L'Homme and they just don't do it for you, I encourage you to give Givenchy Gentlemen a try, the EDT, because I think they're sort of in the same class in terms of what they do, the best times to wear them, what they're best suited for. And I personally enjoy this more than the Prada L'Homme. And I know the Prada L'Homme is super hyped by YouTubers, people that just talk fragrance. It's one of those more hype fragrances. So don't, discount Gentlemen Givenchy. I really like this scent, and I think you will too. In terms of performance, I get pretty much a day's worth of work out of this, between 6 and 8 hours. So not a monster performer, but I wouldn't expect that from this type of scent profile. Love this one, Givenchy Gentlemen EDT. On Monday, I went with a fragrance. It was a little cooler, and I was just getting some work done around the house, some editing done, and I wanted something that I would enjoy just in my own personal little scent bubble. And I just recently did a giveaway for my 3,000 subscribers giveaway, and I'm giving away a Banana Republic Vintage Green fragrance. And I asked the question in that video, let me know in the comment section what your favorite Banana Republic fragrance is. This one was by far the most mentioned fragrance scent I'm talking about is Banana Republic's Tobacco and Tonka Bean. Plum, pear, really fruity, vanilla, tobacco, of course. Man, just a beautifully done scent. There's also coconut and tonka bean, so that tonka adds a bit of powderiness to this. Just a really lovely scent. It's sweet, so you have to like sweet fragrances. It's unisex. This can be worn by a man or a woman, 100%. I would say dead center, absolute unisex fragrance. So I would enjoy this, smelling this on my wife or just in general. I mean, again, it's smelling it on myself. Really well done scent. Great for the cooler weather. Can usually be found pretty cheap. I'm going to be sure to link it down below, the cheapest I can find it. However, if you are in a Burlington, typically these have been popping up. For some time, they were harder to find. Now they're a bit easier to find them, more of them popping up. So if you have a Burlington near you, definitely go check this one out. Definitely worth adding to your collection. Love this one from Banana Republic, Tobacco and Tonka Bean. This next one I wore on Tuesday, I actually picked up for a great price. If I remember correctly, I got it at Nordstrom, maybe on Nordstrom Rack's website. Nonetheless, I love this one. And the first time I had worn it was in the summer, date night with my wife. She loved this one, and just an incredible fragrance that you don't really hear talked about ever. Scent I'm talking about is Loewe Solo Platinum. This is a leather spicy fragrance. It also has some green herbal qualities to it, which makes this so unique. It has olibanum in here, which gives this sort of resinous incense feel. It's aromatic, it's a little bit sweet. I actually get a good amount of ambroxan in here, and ambergris is one of the listed notes. So it's not a blue fragrance, but it will remind you of aspects of a blue fragrance in here. However, it's more spicy, it's more leathery, and it's more herbal and green. So it's a really sort of unique smelling fragrance. I don't really have anything in my collection that smells much like this. I think the closest thing I would say this compares to is maybe something like African leather from Memo, and I think that's just because of the spice and leather that I get from the two fragrances, but they don't smell like it, just they're sort of constructed the same way. Beautiful date night scent, really versatile. I can imagine wearing this out to dinner, having drinks with your wife, and just sort of relaxing and having a good time. It's not super buttoned up, but I think it could be also worn dressed up. So again, adding to that versatility. This is definitely a sleeper, and I hadn't heard this personally talked about. I just saw it for a great price. I know the House of Loewe is well respected. People talk about this house. It actually has made me want to try more from the house, so looking forward to trying more from the house. I get really good longevity from this, really good projection, so it really checks all the boxes. It's something different, and I don't reach for this enough, so I definitely want to reach for this more in the coming months. Really like this one, and I'm smelling in the air right now. Smells great. Loewe Solo Platinum. As I said in the intro, I was doing a lot of real estate stuff this week, and my boss and I were driving around to different meetings, so we were in the same car, and I wanted to make sure I wore something that wasn't overwhelming. I didn't want to be the cologne guy, especially where we're making first impressions with people that we're meeting with. So this next scent that I wore on Wednesday, I think, is a really versatile fragrance for just that. Scent I'm talking about is Azzaro Parfum Low. Now, this thing is dirt cheap, and the quality is incredible. The longevity is incredible. This lasts on clothes for days, it feels like. I never really have to spray that heavy. Oh man, it's just that classic barbershop type vibe to it with these watery notes, right? The water, and it is my understanding is what that means in French. So it's the same DNA. It's the familiar scent that you would get from like an Azzaro Parfum. However, it's lightened up, made more versatile, can be worn in more situations, more seasons. I would find it hard to believe anyone having a problem with this scent. It's a familiar scent, I would imagine, to many people. Just clean, masculine, perfect for the office, perfect for being in the car with your boss, going to meetings and meeting new people and making those connections. It's not going to offend anyone. You're gonna smell great. And again, you can get this dirt cheap. I will link it down below. Love this scent. And I would imagine this is one that I will always have in my collection. Azzaro Parfum Low. So I just recently did a video of this next fragrance, giving my first impressions of it, and I really liked it. And the day I wore it, I found myself liking it even more. This was actually sent to me by a subscriber. So appreciative of that. Thank you. Scent I'm talking about is Anna Abd from Latava. Now, Middle Eastern fragrances are popular right now for a reason. The few that I've tried on this channel, I've liked them all. They've all been incredible. This is no exception. I really enjoy this one. Orange, bergamot, vanilla, pear, musk, and amber in here. It's synthetic, right? You get that fuzzy synthetic feel, like a dryer sheet when you first spray this, but it fills a room. I mean, this stuff just is powerful. You're getting your value, you're getting your money's worth. It lasts a long time. It smells sweet, it's fruity, it's musky, it's a little bit woody, and it's rounded out with that vanilla. This gets compared to Xerjoff's Herba Pura. I asked you guys in the comment section of that other video whether or not they are alike. Some of you said they are. You guys also said this smelled a lot like Amber Oud Gold Edition from El Haramain. And I haven't smelled that fragrance, but many of you guys said it. I would trust that that's the case. Really well done scent, lasts forever, projects like a beast, $25. I suggested that this would work perfectly for an evening out, and I definitely stand by that after wearing it. I think this would work great in the summertime. This is a unisex fragrance. I never find it really leaning one way or the other. If anything, there are moments where I think it might lean a little bit feminine, but in the deeper dry down where that more of that vanilla comes out, less of that fruity pear, I find this being much more unisex and really anyone can pull this off. Quite like this one the day I wore it. Anna Abd from Latava. So on Friday, I found myself back on the road, more meetings, busy day overall, gearing up for the spring season. And I wanted something effortless, masculine, crowd-pleasing, the whole nine, and something I love to smell on myself. And I chose this next one, which to me is one of the more underrated Creed fragrances that you can find. Scent I'm talking about is Creed Himalaya. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this on the channel before. I love this scent, love it. Oh man, it's green, it's cooling. I always sort of describe this as snow-capped mountains with a green valley just below it. And I think that this emulates that beautifully. This scent, the bottle, everything sort of just puts you in that place. It transports you to the name itself, the Himalayas. It just, I don't know, it evokes that feeling. It's green, it's cooling, it's refreshing, it's citrusy up top. It is just a beautiful fragrance, and you don't hear it talked a lot about from this line or other YouTubers. I never really hear anyone talk about Creed Himalaya. I think it's super underrated. You get a little bit of a creamy sandalwood here. It's so well-rounded. It smells like a luxury version of some other 90s fragrances that you might have smelled. So it has a little bit of scent memory tied to it for me, even though I never really wore this fragrance. There's something familiar about it, and it just smells great. The only drawback to this is its longevity for me, but if I spray a little heavier, it lasts. And again, it's not meant to be in your face projecting all day long. It's not what it's supposed to be, and it's not why I own it. I own it for the exact reason that I wore it on Friday. Meetings, work, really pleasant, really likable, soapy clean. You will never offend anyone. It just works. Creed Himalaya. Finally, on Saturday, I had an open house and I wanted to wear just something a little bold, but also really likable and clean, and something that would grab attention. However, not too much attention. It's not going to offend anyone. It's not going to sort of make you the cologne guy, like I said earlier in the video. That was my goal this week. And this was a recent pickup in a rack store haul. Can't believe I found this one. What a steal. I love this scent. Scent I am talking about is Xerjoff's Ouverture. Now look at that bottle. I mean, the bottle is incredible. I guess this is part of their Velvet collection, and I just love sort of how this looks on the shelf with all my other fragrances. Fantastic atomizer. This scent, guys, is just, it's beautiful. I love it. Fig leaf, orange, ylang ylang, cinnamon, sandalwood. It has this sort of fruity, herbal quality to it up top. It's a little sour, which I'm guessing is coming from that ylang ylang. And that sourness just works. Sandalwood, that cinnamon, it has this herbal tea, orange quality to it. It's kind of like you just made a cup of tea, but it has a upscale sort of richness to this. It smells luxurious. There's a little bit of vanilla, there's a little bit of incense in here. I would not recommend this as being a blind buy. This might be a little too bold. However, I think you can grow to like this one because there's really nothing that is challenging at the end of the day when you really smell this for what it is. It's just a high quality, versatile fragrance that I would consider unisex. It's a sexy fragrance. It has a sexy edge to it. Love this one. And so happy to have it in the collection. In terms of performance, lasts all day long, 12 plus hours. I mean, this thing is a monster in performance. So I was not let down there. Got this one for a great price, and if you have not seen that video, I will be sure to link it here so you can watch it. Xerjoff Ouverture. That's all I have today, guys. As always, let me know in the comment section down below what your weekly rotation was. I always love seeing what you guys are wearing. Drop it in the comment section down below. If you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.